Oh, it's showtime. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's your boy Unlimited Production. And we got a big one today. Listen, the year's almost over. We're a handful of days away from the new year. And 2023 continue to kick Sony's ass, man. Um, so not long ago, we did a podcast about Sony being hacked, and we had people arguing with us that it was fake. Well, we see the result of the hack has been all the leak stuff, specifically from Insomniac, it seems like. But there are some good stuff that came out. The Wolverine leaks, which I'll talk about that a little bit, but I won't be showing anything. I'm not going to show any leak content today, but I will talk about it because I'm not a hypocrite, unlike Greg Miller, who has no problem talking about Xbox leaks, GTA leaks, Capcom leaks. But when it comes to Sony, he put on the virtue signaling cape. That piece of shit. Yeah, game over. It is over for them. So Jay Dizzle says Sony running scared. Hey, what's up, chat? I see y'all here already. With Jay Dizzle, Mr. Kima, Censorship 2, Game Over, and Kratos, Son of Sparta. What's up? What's up, Kratos? Yeah, man. So Sony, and what I love about everything that's happened this year is just that pretty much this was a year that kind of confirmed a lot of what people have said. I mean, the likes of Hebot. I remember Hebot was saying stuff about Insomniac and getting the Marvel stuff a few years ago. When people when many of us was thinking, maybe they'll just do, um, maybe they'll just do Spider-Man only. Well, it turns out, we come to know that for a while. I think since 2021, Wolverine is going to be PS5 exclusive. It's not coming out till 2026, so PlayStation got no games for the next 2 years. And the X Men game that's apparently coming in 2030, which that should be cool if they don't Sony-fy it too much. Because personally, your boy Unlimited loves the X-Men. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Yeah, Ray McDougal, and thank you for joining us. He said we all knew this was coming. Yeah, but as you can see by the title, the latest hack proves that Sony is scared of Xbox. And the headline for this one: Sony concerned Microsoft's Activision Blizzard's purchase will see Xbox leapfrog PlayStation. Yeah, of course it would. And guys, let's not forget, Jim Ryan did say this summer that that they won't be able to survive without Call of Duty. Right? But I think this panel right here kind of breaks everything down. Hey, that's all right, Zinc. No problem. This is gonna be one of those where I'm just in and out. I was gonna get a crew together, but I don't really have time to do a 2-hour show today myself. Hey, it's just elite. What's up? So yeah, let's get started here. So the Call of Duty threat in 2027. Now, this might be updated because I know Sony ended up signing that contract not too long ago, right? Oh, so the Call of Duty threat in 2027, Microsoft acquisition for Activision could disrupt and threaten console gaming and console subscription markets. What a funny way to word this: disrupt and threaten console gaming. Like Xbox aren't already a console maker, but yeah. Anyway, the console shift from PlayStation to Xbox with timing and in-game differentials as the weapons subscription. Microsoft comprehensive ecosystem coupled with exclusivity creates greater dominance and Sony impact. Massive threat to PlayStation Plus, upwards to 1.5 billion of annual revenue threat. Um, of annual revenue threat. Gap to fill 45 million subs times $12 monthly. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Tuck called me. All right, sorry about that, guys. Let's get back to it. Yeah, man, but yeah, as we see here, the proof is in the pudding about Sony being scared of Xbox. And but here's the thing. This is what you guys get because let's not forget, y'all said forever, right? Hey, Xbox needs to do better. Hey, Xbox got no games. Hey, Xbox is the weaker console. Well, Xbox is doing better, and it seems to scare the higher ups at Sony shitless as much as it scares y'all. Which I mean, good, because on Xbox we got the best place to play. Okay, y'all got a few more Marvel games than Xbox now. The Xbox still has, I swear, what 30, 40 games in development at the moment, or something crazy like that. So the point is, yeah. So the point is, man, yo, be scared, Sony, but just know you did it to yourself. All right, let's get back to this PowerPoint. I think that's what it's from. Day and day threat. Post acquisition, Microsoft will put Activision games on Game Pass day and date. Oh, I cannot wait till that happens. Yo, the listen, Call of Duty 2024 or whatever year they choose to put it day one on Game Pass, you know that's going to be another shot in the arm for the Game Pass subscriptions. And we already know Game Pass is killing it by the numbers of freaking. It seems like every game is releasing well. Like, just look at the first party stuff. 30 million, over 30 million for Halo, over 35 million for Forza Horizon 5. Starfield was the biggest launch in Bethesda history. Hell, even a game like Grounded that people made fun of because of its art style. The Honey I Shrunk the Kids simulator, as I like to call it, had over 10 to 12 million players. So you don't think Call of Duty day one on Game Pass is going to hurt Sony? Of course it will. I mean, Game Pass right now is already hurting them. Seriously. Yeah. Ray said Wolverine leak gameplay is very same to Spider-Man, Batman Arkham. This means Insomniac running out of ideas. I don't. No. I don't think it. I don't think it even. I wouldn't even compare it to the Batman game, because the Batman games had more impact than the like. I saw the leaks gameplay, and even I thought it was going to be, and hopefully they fix this before launch, Ray. Hopefully they make that Wolverine game as brutal as possible, and not, instead of this candy ass Wolverine that I saw, who looked like he was just throwing random punches like a bad boxer, basically, and his claws. And it's almost like his claws didn't mean much until you unlock the kill animation, basically. There's another part that it was pretty much just Spider-Man bullshit. But I'll get to Wolverine a little later, man, because as an X-Men fan, I really hope that's better than what we saw. Yeah, Leapfrog. Activision provides incredible strategic value across live service games, scale in mobile, and PC storefront. Microsoft can supply yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Microsoft can supply multiple game subscriptions at 50%. Cost of games 50%, PC 60%. Sony's pillars are already dated and behind the competition. Sony Impact need to expand. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that. Now, that's something that we had said for a long time, and the PlayStation hardcore would argue you down, right? No, the only having single player games, as Zink would say, with no return on investment. That's the winning formula. Counting boxes like it's 2002, right? And yet internally they're saying, look, Sony, they're outdated. They're behind on the competition. They need to expand. Of course they do, because Xbox has shown and has proven what the winning formula look like. That's why, as we again, a lot of everything that we're going to talk about tonight just reinforced what was shown this summer. about how Xbox is more profitable. Now they're about to be now they're about to make more revenue and be more profitable than PlayStation brand after the Activision merger, right? So from their own words, and this was going to be hilarious. There are going to be PlayStation fans who completely ignore this part, completely ignore this. Some of them already try to claim everything is fucking fake. Yeah, everything is fake, but the Insomniac roadmap is real. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, Sony. I mean, but are they wrong? Seriously, how many times have we said? Listen, everybody. Maybe this has probably been the case since gaming started. I don't think I don't think the console itself has ever made money. Because I remember back in the day Sega saying, "Hey, look, it's not the consoles, it's the software, basically the games, the stuff that we sell, the extra that we sell that makes the money." The console is just a tool we use to get our real money makers into people's homes, into their wallets, so to speak. And then in the era of, and this blew my mind, in the era, ladies and gentlemen, of AAA games having $300 million budgets, yeah, selling these games for $60, $70 is not the winning formula anymore. It's just not, because you have to sell a lot, and I mean a fucking lot, to make that back up. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Gaming has been overly expensive for a long time. That's why in the seventh generation, that's why in the seventh generation, for example, we lost so many devs with the HD era, because gaming was so expensive 15 years ago. It was too hard for a lot of them to make money despite selling over 1 million copies. Hell, today we learned that my game, Sunset Overdrive, sold approximately 2 million copies, and that didn't really make that much money back for Insomniac. 2 million was not good enough to make its money back. And you're talking to somebody whose favorite game of last generation was Sunset Overdrive, right? So yeah, Sony, you better start catching up fast. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. They don't have the resources, the money, nor the talent to put up the infrastructure Xbox has spent the last decade putting together. You see, while the gaming world was bitching about Xbox in 2014, 2013, they were getting the back end of the Xbox, of the gaming world, and their engines and everything in order. While they were purchasing the Havoc engine and people were laughing at them that they need more games, that was future proofing for what we have now, where they got the games and they're coming, as we saw with this year, next year, and going forward with the likes of Blade and Indiana Jones and Fable. That what they did spent last generation doing was building the infrastructure for the future. And the future is now, and the next, whatever the next Xbox generation is going to be. Hey, what's up, Snooky Jackson? Shizna said, I am really hyped for Wolverine, but I wasn't impressed. However, it still got a lot of time to get polished. At the moment, it looked like character swap Spider-Man without the swinging. Yeah. Listen, make the Wolverine game brutal. Make it brutal, bloody, mature game. Don't like that neuter shit that I saw in the leak. Disappointed me too, Shizdo. Hopefully, as they get it together. And here's the thing. I could put my issue with Sony aside to say this. I would love if Wolverine was good, because I want a good X-Men game the same way I want a good Justice League game, big budget Justice League game, right? Your boy Unlimited, I said it a million times, love superhero games. Last 2021, my game of the year was Guardians of the Galaxy that people didn't play. 2022, my game of the year was Gotham Knights that people hated and didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So I am no stranger to loving superhero games. And by the way, can we stop this fucking narrative that Insomniac are the only one who makes good superhero games? No, I'm sorry, but I play Spider-Man PS4. Fun game, not the greatest superhero game ever, not even close. All it had, the only thing that made it probably better than others is that it had the budget to have pretty graphics and long cutscenes. Because the gameplay was cool, but not revolutionary. The side quests, a lot of them sucked. The Mary Jane, like the people didn't even like the Mary Jane missions in the second game, much less the first game, where it was even worse. So stop telling me that Insomniac makes the best superhero games. No, they fucking don't. It's good, but not just world changing that they keep pretending it is. Yes, Sparta. The Batman Arkham games are better than Spider-Man. And hell, you could see the Arkham series influence on these Spider-Man games anyway. Sony scared, the ponies and pony bots scared. We only just begun over here on Xbox. Yep, absolutely right. You know, absolutely right, Snooky. Hey, Tool Man, what's up, my friend? But yeah, Sony concern, Microsoft Activision Blizzard purchase will see them leapfrog PlayStation. Look, they already leapfrogged them in this games and studios. Might as well start leap. Oh, yeah, hell, they already leapfrogged them with the subscription numbers too. And Xbox Live and all that. So, and just another win under their cap. I still get a kick out of that whole disrupt and threaten the console gaming and subscription market. Like, dude, PlayStation, your PlayStation Plus sucks. You do. And this what kills me. Game Pass has been putting their games day one, and by the way, this year, what did they say? Over 50 day one games on Game Pass this year alone. That when they debuted day one, they hit Game Pass as well. So the massive threat was happening even before the deal closed. And two, nobody really likes PlayStation Plus. I see the response every month when they show their games release compared to when Game Pass show their games release. They'll give you three. I think Sony gives you 3 games a month, and then Xbox just keep having a continual game pouring like Remnant 2 and all that stuff. And then people end up going to like, hey, Sony, set your game up with PlayStation Plus. Well, they tried, and it still ain't that good. And then, again, when their games are 315 million, when a game like Spider-Man, 315 million, game like Horizon, $220 million, these are budgets that are bigger than Hollywood movies. Right? And to make up that much money, and then, by the way, let's not forget, a lot of time the marketing budget can be comparable to the development cost. So you're not only making up the development cost, you make up with the marketing, you're splitting it with the licensing in terms of these Marvel games, the licensed games. So it's tough to make the money back with these big AAA games. He said, I just seen JTech TV unbox an Xbox. Oh, Lord. So is he joining the light side then, Faded Blaze? Is that what you're telling me? You mentioned them kind of funny, the kind of frauds and kind of funny refusing to cover the leak. Yeah, and the kicker is that, they have no problem covering the leaks of anyone else. Just yesterday, the Suicide Squad leak, which I haven't even seen that leak. The Capcom leak they covered. Far Cry 7 leak. I didn't even know that there's a Far Cry 7 leak. The Zelda leak. So yeah, when these guys aren't simping for Sony, they don't believe a word that comes out their mouth, guys. They don't. They don't believe that for 1 second. Right? All it is that something bad happened with PlayStation, and then that Sony defense mechanism in their brain kicks in. You know how we have a fight or flight response? I swear, these ponies, man, they got that Sony defense mechanism response, man. When something bad, negative comes out for Sony, they come and defend them harder than the country defends their borders. Yo, what's up, D-Play? What's up, man? What a way for Sony to end the year. I know, what an awful year they had. The budget is insane to begin with, and that's not counting advertising. Yeah, exactly, censorship too. These listen, that is not sustainable. One day we've got to have a detailed conversation about the budget of these AAA games, because that is clearly not sustainable. We're talking about, you got to sell over 4 million at that cost just to break even. Just to break even, you got over 4 million consoles at full price. I mean, not budgeted with the console, not on Black Friday sales for $20. No, at full price. You know, Faded Blaze. I swear that was on the stream today. Yo, that's wild. I get that Spider-Man 2 would be expensive, but 312 or 315 million is just no, it's overkill. I don't think Microsoft put that much into even Starfield. No, Starfield did have a $200 million budget though. But let's make sure. Yeah, a budget of about 200 million for Starfield. So yeah, Spider-Man is over $100 million more expensive, and that's a single player game that people are going to play once, then either give it away, never touch it again, right? Because as other Sync has always put, these single player games just don't have that same reserve on returns as the multiplayer co-op games or games as a service. And I know that whole games as a service, live service is the current boogeyman, right? It's the current boogeyman because Sony can't do it. Not because they're actually bad, because a lot of the biggest games, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, are these live service games that are constantly evolving and constantly changing, constantly adding new content. The thing is though, the thing about the games as service and live action games or live service games is that you kind of need to hit the home run with them, or else they are tough to make money with because it could really burn and fizzle too quickly. So yeah, we'll see if a game like the finals, for example, do well long term, or if they're gonna go the way of say something like Battleborn, a game that I love, but it did not do well at all. Was a Starfield under 200? It was about 200, give or take. So maybe under. I mean, listen, that's still expensive as hell, and it's still a lot to make back, right? But you know, but I mean, the main culprit right now, guys, though, ladies and gentlemen, Sony. Sony, what's funny is that they love what's crazy about this year is that this stuff keeps releasing, but they don't want people to know it publicly. They don't want people to know this stuff publicly, but yet it keeps coming out and it keeps making them look worse and worse. Yeah, Microsoft is widely expected to include a new Call of Duty titles in Game Pass when Sony's current licensing deals expire. Something that would obviously draw people in. Yes, I cannot wait for that moment. I cannot wait for it. And you know what? I think we're going to get the first announcement of Call of Duty on Game Pass. I think it's going to happen at one of these summer showcases, right? And we're going to see the debut of, for example, Call of Duty 2025, whatever that's going to be. And then at the end, day one on Game Pass. And you just know when that moment happens, it's going to be another set of outrage. Oh, why would I pay $70 for this trash when they get it for free? Now, Game Pass isn't free, but I get it. It can feel free when you got over approximately 500 games on Game Pass Ultimate, right? That you have access to. Yo, J Rock, what's up, man? I see you doing the Lord's work over there on Twitter, man. Just fantastic stuff, man. And hell, I probably used some of your tweets or your thumbnails before and didn't even realize it. Radiance, man. Hey, what's up, Radiance? Yeah, but let's get back to this, man. Sony are also currently pays to ensure select Call of Duty in-game content once it's first on PlayStation. And while Microsoft said it won't do similar in the future, at the very least, Sony will lose its ability to leverage itself. Yeah, and that's important to note. Xbox did say, look, we're not going to do the 1 year match like they used to do in the 360 days or Sony do now. We're not going to do that. But they don't need to. Look, put your game on Game Pass, let the subscription blow up. Then the people on PlayStation who are never going to jump ship, they're still going to pay for those maps. because we already know that Call of Duty has more players than all their exclusives. Wilkins said Wolverine looks just like the combo of Spider-Man and God of War 2018. Yeah, which it is just does not light me on fire. Look, guys, I think God of War, since they rebooted it or soft reboot, whatever you want to call it, they're not good games. They're good. They're good for, say, the casuals. They're good for as Oscar bait for Game Awards. But in terms of fun factor, nah. I own these games and I've played them. And here's the thing: when I go into these games, I do not go into a game expecting to hate it or dislike it like other people do. I don't do that. I genuinely want these games to be good because that means it's more bang for my buck as a PS5 owner. So when a game like God of War is not fun, when a game like Horizon Forbidden Entertainment is not fun, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys just because everybody else says it. No, I'm not a follower. I base my opinions off what I experienced playing these games. I just didn't have fun with it like I did God of War 3 Remastered, which I thought was brilliant. I seriously give God of War 3 as high as like a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's that good. I think the game's phenomenal and unbelievably fun. The leak broke their minds. Yeah, and what's funny since too is seeing everybody. This is what I got a kick out of. First, they posted all the stuff about leaks because I wasn't even paying attention on that stuff. But a lot of these guys who are now playing sympathy, pulling the pity party card, right? They were the first ones to talk about these leaks, and then now that it didn't turn out to be, I guess the best news, if you will, for PlayStation and Insomniac. Now they want to play the sympathy card. Oh, but the devs. Oh, but no, it's their personal information, man. Nobody's asking for these motherfuckers' personal information, and I'll even go as far to say this: the people who did steal their information, I think, are fucking pieces of shit. All right, let's not mince words here. You're still in, when you for their personal information, all that stuff. They are. But don't sit here and preach to us that you're this holier than thou mind in the space of gaming when you have no problem talking about every other company's leaks. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Don't how's that phrase go? Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining or something like that. Don't do that, because first of all, it's the internet age. All you gotta do is go to your YouTube channel, your Twitter, or anything, type in your name and leaks, and see all the times you made money, hundreds of dollars talking about leaks for everything else. And now you want to sit here and pretend that anybody who talks about it is just, oh, you guys are doing it wrong and we care about the devs. Notice how they didn't give a fuck about the devs when they were trying to stop the Activision deal. A company, mind you, that was so toxic, a woman who worked there, a former employee, killed herself due to that awful work environment. They needed that change from Microsoft. They needed the new leadership under Microsoft to step in and fix the people out there who are treating their employees like shit. They needed that, but y'all did not give a fuck. So don't sit here and tell me, people like me, people in the chat, and everybody watching, don't sit here and on one breath clearly not give a shit about the employees at Activision. But yeah, you want everybody to feel sympathy for Sony and Insomniac. Go fuck yourself. And I'm saying that to the hypocrites, not to the employees who were hurt by this, by the way, in case anybody don't have good reasoning skills. Yeah, we better keep an eye on these ponies coming over to Xbox. Can't trust them. Yeah. They talk shit about Game Pass, and that's gonna be the first thing they do when they get an Xbox, because that's the only way they're gonna be play all the exclusives without paying out the ass for them. All right, but let's get back to this, man. So how does Sony respond then? The document states that the company must expand, and although whether this means acquisitions of its own is unclear, and maintain its current model of premium game sales as a central approach. Yeah, I think expand not only is acquisition. First of all, they're not going to outspend Microsoft. So let's get that out there. Get that out your head right now. If you're thinking that maybe they'll compete in that space, not going to happen. But they are going to. Oh, by the way, expanding. That's why they were trying to do the 12 games ever service games. Listen, I've been telling you guys for years. Sony would kill. They would kill to have a game that had 33 million players. That let's not forget, there was a time Halo Infinite released cat airs and it sold out the ass. Sony would kill for that. J Rock said, "It's funny as fuck seeing them believe every document in the leak except the one that shows Sony panicking." Yeah, man, I found that hilarious too. Yeah, everything else is true, but not the one thing that's negative. Well, first of all, there are multiple things that was negative because we know now that Ratchet and Clank didn't make money. We know that my game Sunset Overdrive didn't make bank like that. But by the way, we already knew that about Sunset Overdrive, or else we would have had Sunset Overdrive 3 by now. And not only that, it was Sunset Overdrive came out during the peak of the Xbox One hate, so it was never gonna have its chance like that to shine, no matter what, But Ratchet and Clank, that game has no excuses for not making money. Damn, I barely found out Kind of Funny cast was a Spider-Man 2 as an Easter egg. Wow, no wonder why they're apologizing for Insomniac. Yeah, that's crazy. They were an Easter egg. Oh, okay, so they just protecting their friends at this point. I guess for them to care about the devs got to put you in the game. Hey, but that's nothing new when it comes to PlayStation. Just look at the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley, he bent over backwards for Kojima, and Kojima put him in death standing. "2023 will go down as the worst year in PlayStation history." Yeah, this year has been awful. It not only has it been awful for them, it's been an embarrassment. And they're going to cope with their third party games that they're not going to play, they're not going to buy. They're not going to play Rise of the Ronin like that, even though that game might be good because Team Ninja is a legitimately good developer. Wilkins said, "Damn, I seen someone mention Miller was in it, but the crew makes sense now why they covering for them." Yeah, that's wild that they put the whole crew in there, and now all of a sudden they get these morals to not talk about anything to harm the devs. Come on now, I was born that night, but I wasn't born last night. I ain't that damn stupid now, guys. So they said, let's charge our consumers more, $80 to $100 games. Yeah, I saw that too. That's crazy. Let's see what this article here says. Inexpensive PlayStation PC ports only require email approval to get funded. Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine already have PC builds. Uh-oh. Is another narrative going to come true? That's right. What was that I said years ago? That's right. This generation won't end without Sony games being day one on PC as well. And we're just creeping closer and closer to that, because Xbox realized this as well, that there's only so much money to make in the console market, so why not just try to target everybody? PlayStation PC ports have been released steadily these past few years, and it seems like the process to get any approved is relatively straightforward if the port doesn't cost much to develop. According to the leaked documents that emerged following the ransomware attack, any port that requires less than $30 million to develop only requires an email approval to get funded. This was the case for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which, by the way, PlayStation fans did not buy that game, which cost far less than $30 million. But and by the way, look at the money scrunching they got to do. Since they had to put over $300 million in Spider-Man 2, they trying to act like doing PC ports is what's going to break them. No, it's them expensive at AAA games that only 10% of the audience buys. Over $100 million and can be beaten in the weekend. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Loyal Cap, Sony BTFO. Hey, what's up, Loyal Cap Zero? First time seeing you here. Thank you for joining, my friend. Yo, 100, man. What's up, 100? And 6 Lane? Yo, the chat, man. Well, y'all are here today, man. It's only a matter of time before we see a lot of ponies flip. Yeah. The first one was Destin Legary. The second one, I hear that dude Crack Gamer is an Xbox fan again. So that's two who done flipped. I can't wait to see the rest of them. I am not going to pay $80 to $100 for a single player game. I'll be damned, Game Pass. Yeah, man, at that price. And here's the thing. Only reason I'm not gonna bitch too much about that because I do buy my collector's editions, and those collector's editions could be a bit pricey. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, but if that was standard price of games, nah, fuck that, because then collector's editions would be like $500. Money might be pretty good, but it ain't that damn good. I ain't Warren Buffett over here. But yeah, man, games at that price, day one, standard. Nah, screw that. I'll be waiting for every game to be to be on sale. Hey, Hebot. Unfortunately, no, I don't got much time today. I'll be out of here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I was planning on doing something bigger and longer, but that's going to have to be another time. Sunset Overdrive outsold Ratchet and Clank. Oh my goodness, that's wow. I know Sunset Overdrive was approximately 2 million. I wonder what Ratchet and Clank was then. Yo, Tuck Master. Again, sorry, Tuck, I couldn't get you on. I'm not going to be here long. Now the biggest question I gotta ask you is Wolverine. They might scrap that project too because you know them codes are out there. Now they ain't gonna scrap it, man. Listen, if Spider-Man has a $300 million budget, Tuck, Wolverine probably has a comparable budget. Maybe not as high as Spider-Man, but I guarantee it's a $200 million plus AAA game. I would bet almost anything on it. So no, it's not being canceled because remember when Scale Down was canceled, Phil gave Platinum Games almost $100 million, and that was in 2017. It was canceled, so that would have been around 2013. They're paying that much for that AAA game, and they didn't get much out of it. Sony is not canceling this game after putting in hundreds of millions of dollars into it. Just not happening. I didn't even have the X1 at the time. Only played Sunset on Game Pass, bought the deluxe DLC edition right after. Yeah, that's what's up. That's how a lot of people played Sunset Overdrive. But no, Sunset Overdrive was the first game I played on Xbox One when I got my first Xbox One. It's the game that I credit to get me back into gaming. And let's be real, it's the game I'm here now making Xbox podcast because that game I thought was so fun that I ended up getting back into gaming because of it, and which included a lot of them Xbox games at the time, which were fantastic. All right, let's see here. Yeah, before I get going, so this was fascinating to see the X-Men's license agreements, which I debated if I should even show this on. Hopefully, this don't get this video pulled. But yeah, so PlayStation and PC getting the X-Men game. But here's the crazy part: commitments. $621 million comprised $120 million in development commitment. So I'm thinking that Marvel is putting in 120 for development of the X-Men game. 30 million for marketing, and 9 million to recoup advance for each title. This is so we get a breakdown of how this works, and go ahead and read this further on your own time, only because I don't know how sensitive information that would be. And then all right, 1 second, guys. Yeah, so here's another one. This was a good one as well. And thank you for the 60 people watching. The strategic pillars, blockbusters through unparalleled experiences. Breathtaking experience. Let me see. Breathtaking experience. Oh, here it is. Sorry, guys, got a bit distracted there. But yeah, so last but not least, well, I'll say last but not least, the everywhere experience, multi-platform, multi-reach, multi-access, and pretty much they're just doing what Xbox is doing, putting their games on trying to reach the 2 billion players Microsoft is trying to reach, man. All right, guys, give me 1 second. 1 second. Hey, Hebot. Yo, Hebot,
Can you hear
can you
me?
hear me? Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah, I
now.
can hear you.
Hey,
I
yeah,
can hear you.
go ahead and be quick. But I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I'm trying to get Tuck in too.
Sure. What's up? Well, yo, it's amazing, right? With this, how the hypocrisy and the differences with all these things that happen when it comes to Sony.
Yo,
Can you hear
hey,
me, brother?
yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, I'm glad you made it because I forgot to tell you, man.
Mhm.
My friend, were correct again because I remember years ago you were saying something along the lines of how Sony and Insomniac were trying to get the the Marvel license locked down and all this stuff, and
Mhm.
people, and people were trying to argue you left and right about it, saying, "Nah, it's not true," or "No, well, maybe not that it's not true." But more so that they're trying to put this narrative out there that only Insomniac makes good superhero games now, and so they
Right.
deserve to be the only ones to get these
Well,
licenses.
the other one is that they were saying the other narrative that they were pushing was that the reason why Sony was doing Marvel games because they own Marvel or the rights to Marvel games. You get
Oh
what I'm trying to say?
yeah, man. Do you know how many times I debunked that
Mm-hmm.
from people who told me they own Spider Man?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. First of all, that what I said long ago, which I know you saw it, was when people were swearing up and down that Sunset Overdrive didn't do at least well, right? And that's why Microsoft didn't want to do a sequel. And Sunset Overdrive broke even at least based on how much they spent, right? And you see that Insomniac with Ratchet with Sony, they spent 80, what was it, 80 million to make 81 million, 82 million, and they barely got to sell 2 million copies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know? And the other thing that makes me laugh is these people, oh, they're making so much money, that's why I keep banking. Look, Marvel's the one who funds these games. That's why they get a higher profit margin because they're like, oh, this is stupid. Why is it that they're paying Marvel so much money? Because they're the ones who fund it.
mm-hmm.
They fund the game. It's not Sony. Sony doesn't fund none of it. What Sony does is fund the marketing because it's to push it that it's on their console and it's exclusive. And obviously, they made a deal to pay for exclusivity. But did you see what I also said came out? How they purposely put the games in the bundles to inflate the sales?
Yep.
Did you see that? Remember what I was saying that years ago? I was like, dude, they're counting the bundles because they're physical, but they don't even sell them separate. That's basically a free copy.
And
It's
that's a
just to
damn
bring more
shame.
engagement. Huh?
That's a damn shame, like always.
You remember I said that long ago, right?
Yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah. I
no,
remember all that. I remember all
you're
that. Oh,
bullshitting. You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. I was like, dude, please, can you stop? The first Spider-Man gave out almost 6 million copies for free. Because I
mm-hmm.
remember that bundle that Black Friday. That shit was something like hotcakes for $200.
And I remember
Right?
that too because there are people who got the bundle but didn't touch the game and it'll still count it as a sale.
Yeah, some people bought the bundle and sold the game.
Yeah.
I remember like, oh, I'm just gonna sell it or give it away the game. I don't care. I just wanted to get a PS4 for $200. I've literally heard people say shit like that. I was like, that shit is crazy. But then you brought it to people's attention. Oh no, you're bugging. It's sold on its own merit. It sold $60, and people went out and bought. No, it did it. Because if you look at the sales charts in the monthly sales charts for VG charts,
Mm-hmm.
It was number one in September when it came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in October, it fell all the way down to number 8. And you could go look at this yourself and you're going to see, yo, Heba was right. Then in November, it didn't hit the charts at all because it was bundled in the bundles. It was nowhere to be found in December, in January, in February, and in May. It didn't hit the charts at all. In April, it hit the charts again to I think it was the number 6 spot or the 7th, because they did their first sale on the game for $40. Then you didn't see it again in May. And then in June, it hit the charts again because they did that E3 sale when it went down to $20. You remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was like $20, and that's what it charted. And I tell people, when you sell games at $10, $20, that's automatic diminished returns because you're not getting nothing back, no investment. That's just their way of getting more engagement by selling copies so more people will play it to see if it'll help the sales for the second game. But you saw how the second game, the fact that they went so woke on it and disrespected so much of the lore, right? That it's not being talked about. It's not doing big numbers. And you saw they spent $315 million to make the game.
Yep.
And then people are like, but why the fuck is so expensive? There's even more money than movies. Like, because what have I been saying you from day one? Because they keep using mocap, making the games look like photorealistic movies, and using high-profile actors. And the games feel more like movies than games. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is why they're spending more and not getting enough return investment. Nobody that's smart business does shit like that. Go ahead, Tuck. I'm sorry.
Okay, I want to add something to that. And like you said, Collins, and just like you said, they spent 315 million on the game.
Yep.
Now the thing about it, like you said, advertisement, that shit costs. So no telling how much they had to spend on that. And and the biggest question I want to ask y'all is this: with all these damn codes that's coming out on this damn Marvel game, on this Wolverine game, are they going to cancel that game too?
No. It's not going to be canceled. Look, Tuck, they just spent $300 million on Spider-Man 2. Wolverine, I guarantee you, is a $200 million game, and they're not going to eat that because of this situation. All they're going to do, Tuck, is what that bitch Greg Miller did. They're going to throw a pity party, right? They're going to throw a pity party, Tuck. Everybody's going to pretend not to talk about it, even though everybody literally is just talking about it. And then it's going to come out in 2026 because Sony's got no games.
So it's going to come out in 2026 instead of 2024 now, huh?
Yeah, Paul, stop it, man. Paul, I genuinely hope Wolverine is more brutal and bloody than that bullshit that leaked, because that was another AAA Sony game over their shoulder with the stupid mechanics they put in all their fucking games.
But you see,
combat.
You see the first mistake already with Wolverine. That's how you know that they keep mandating all their developers. Wolverine is over the shoulder like God of War. We all know that Wolverine is not a heavy character. You could get away with that with something like God of War, even though still the gameplay, it limits the gameplay mechanics. That's why we said, me and you spoke about it many times, that God of War 3 shits all over any of the new God of Wars, and people are like, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. Because the combat system in God of War 3 at least was fluid and you have much more control and did much more. With this one, it feels heavy, kind of tanky feel, and very limited. It's basically slide, thrust, and you can barely even jump. You got to use the fucking goddamn chain from the actual blades to swing because you don't jump. You see what I'm saying? Wolverine, yeah. I don't know how it's going to play out. I doubt it's going to be any good. If it's brutal, it might help it, but it needs the violence. But it didn't look like it had violence. It looked like it might be a little brutal. Like they show him break somebody's arm, but are they going to show violence? Because Wolverine, you saw the Wolverine Origins had excellent gameplay. Mm-hmm. It played like Ninja Gaiden, the one on 360, and that shit was brutal. You could even see his skin flesh bleeding out, ripping off, and then it would grow back because he has the power of healing, right?
Yeah, and I genuinely hope. Because listen, I'm putting that Sony bullshit aside because that company is dead in the water. We haven't had an X-Men game since X-Men Destiny, and I think that was like in 2010. It's been way too long. And so I hope they nail it. But if it's just going to be the same Sony bullshit, then why would I invest it when I could literally put in any other Sony game I have and have this?
You're right. I want it to be good, but here's the first big red flag, fellas. Look at this. X-Men by default is a team-based game, right? Kind of like Guardians, kind of like Avengers. The only way they can do it is single player, like if you take turns with characters. But the reality of it is that an X-Men game should be a co-op online game, right? We all know Sony don't know how to make cooperative co-op campaigns or co-op couch co-op or co-op online. So that's a big red flag right there. The fact that how they're going to execute it, I highly doubt they're going to be able to do what Guardians of the Galaxy did.
No, I'd be pissed if they did it that way, and here's why. The whole thing of the Guardians is that the way that gameplay worked was phenomenal. It was the reason it was my game of the year 2021. But the X-Men are a different animal. You know,
right?
They are still their own characters, while the Guardians are more like a family. That's why that worked.
They're a team. They're a team.
Yeah, but an X-Men game where okay, you gotta control Wolverine, but only the AI would do Cyclops and Storm.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't work. Right. It wouldn't work. Right. It has to be either 4 or 6 player co-op at the very least. And I don't know if they can pull that off because they don't even have the online infrastructure unlimited. We all know this.
Not only that. Listen, people of how they talked about the Avengers, Suicide Squad, and Gotham Knights. They hate the idea of super.
Hell yeah, and Gotham Knights for 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
They're trying to downplay fucking Suicide Squad when you and me both played the beta, and we all know it plays phenomenal.
Oh, that gameplay was excellent.
The gameplay is spot on.
So it's just so good.
If the Wolverine game had that kind of impact and it was a bit more fast paced, like Suicide Squad, but just with Wolverine claws, I would be praising it.
Absolutely, because it works.
It literally looked like every other Sony game.
It looks like Wolverine God of War or God of Wolverine. That's what it looks like. It looks like God of War.
If that was Kratos or
if you noticed on the leaks. Even when he climbs up the wall, it looks scripted. Like when you got to prompt the button so you can climb up the wall. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
right.
So if it's going to be limited, it's not going to work. I won't like it. Maybe the combat could make up for some of that if it's good enough. But how are you going to do the combat fluid if Wolverine is an agile character?
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
He should be. Listen.
Like I said,
Wolverine should look like real high booster. He should be all over the screen.
Right. It has to play like Ninja Gaiden. Right.
Yeah. Enemies.
And the funny shit is, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like you said, if you don't have the violence in there, it just be like another game.
No, well, they confirmed that it's going to be rated R, but that could be cursing and some blood here and there. But that doesn't mean that he's supposed to rip people's limbs off.
Yeah.
He's supposed to cut niggas' heads off. He's supposed to cut people in half. That's what he does.
Yeah, and it shouldn't just be a death kill triggered animation that it happens.
Right. Like a final kill type deal. Like you press the button and it does like the skill. Right. No. It has to be you control it.
Yeah. Where you push square and then you watch him do the kill animation, then go back to just button mashing. No.
Right.
Make it more interesting. Make it a lot more brutal. And stop, please. I am begging Sony. Use a different art style, please. I would have, if that game would have looked more cartoony, I would even praise that because it would have been different, Well,
you saw that they slated Venom supposedly for next year.
Oh, that's going to be DLC.
How if they never even showed that they were making a Venom game?
Yeah, if that's coming out, that's DLC, and it's going to be the equivalent of Miles Morales. It's going to be DLC. They're going to pretend it's a real game, and after it's beat in 3 hours, they're going to go back talking about Xbox. That's
right.
Hard to spoil Venom for you, but that's how it's going to be.
Right. I mean, and plus another thing is, if Insomniac is doing all those games, they're going to burn themselves out. Also, that's another thing. That's just too many games with the same material being Marvel back to back, because you need time to run, to to captivate good ideas, to execute the games right. And what's funny, the hypocrisy is everybody's like, oh yeah, they're making an X-Men game, right? But when they showed those concept art of Blade, they're running with the, oh shit, it's gonna look like ass. Look, it's got that corny graphic. You get what I'm trying to say?
No, I literally saw somebody said that he wished Marvel gave the Blade license to Insomniac.
Oh yeah. I saw that too. He's like, why they gonna give it to Insomniac? Like, Insomniac can't do everything. Number one, number two, there's many good developers out there with like Guardians of the Galaxy, the developers who did that, that prove that other people can make good games.
Well, you don't need to prove that because superhero games have been good. There's been a lot of great superhero games.
Absolutely.
1 and 2, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series.
Absolutely. That tells me when you see those type of comments from people that these dudes only started playing now Marvel games because they're exclusive to PlayStation.
Yep.
Not because they actually gave a fuck about the Marvel characters or license, because we all know Wolverine's Origins was excellent. Even the fucking 2-player co-op fucking, that was a smaller game from Sega, Green Lantern, was a good game. It was at the very least a decent game, right?
Yeah.
We all know that fucking Punisher was outstanding, right? We all know that fucking Guardians of the Galaxy was excellent, right? We all know that fucking Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, in comparison, what you can do compared to the new Spider-Mans, it runs circles around those games. It may not have the graphical fidelity because it was a different era, a different generation, but they still looked great for the time they came out. And we all know Batman games were great, right? So the fact that they sit there, oh no, only Insomniac and Sony make good superhero games tells you everything you need to know, that they're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah, in the same breath, they'll tell you how much they hate the Mary Jane side missions.
Right.
So which one is it? Are they the greatest superhero devs ever? Or do you hate the Mary Jane side missions?
And the Mary Jane ones are like 30% of the game.
Yeah, they do suck. Don't get me wrong, but you can't have it both ways. I see what y'all said, and I played Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales, so it's not like I'm sitting here, just talking out my ass. No.
Well, you see what they're doing with the Wolverine. There's a segment where you can play as Rogue.
Really?
Yeah, there's a girl segment. They added a girl segment. In one of the leaks, you see it.
Oh, I didn't see that, but
I'm like, yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I'll send it to you.
All right.
Did you play as, I think it's Rogue or Phoenix? One of those two.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it's a Wolverine game, why are you playing as other characters?
Yeah. The excuse is gonna be as a setup for the X-Men game. That's what it's gonna be.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully they don't listen. Rogue is a powerful bitch, so don't you dare make her boring, Insomniac, or I'm really gonna hate you guys. Because it's one thing when you mess up with Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man.
Well, they already fucked up Spider-Man, so I don't know how they think they're gonna have any success with Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
and we all know if they keep adding all that dumb woke shit, and they try to add it to Wolverine, that shit's, people are gonna hate it too. They're gonna get mad and upset about it. So,
and Spider-Man 3 apparently is gonna be sold in 2 parts or something like that.
Yeah. Supposedly it's gonna be co-op. I was like, they're just saying that because of people mentioning it.
No. When I say 2 parts, I mean Spider-Man Part 1.
Yeah, like a 2-part game, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know.
But unfortunately, guys, and I thank everybody for watching. Your boy Unlimited does have to get going. I thought I would have had more time, man, but something came up literally like 30 minutes before I went live. So unfortunately,
that's fine.
Unfortunately, I can't do a 2-hour podcast and get the crew together like
right.
But yeah, Tuck, you there? Hey guys, follow Tuckmaster on he does the Lions.
Yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, man. Let me get your final thoughts, man, and shout yourself out. So I got to get going.
Okay, y'all. My biggest thing is this: PlayStation people, get rid of that 0. And I'm talking about the real PlayStation fans, not these damn fakers. Just come on to the good side. Leave that bad side alone. Because 2023 was a bad year. 2024 even going to be a worse year for them. And that's all I got to say about that. Oh, another thing too. If people thinking that Square Enix is going to sign an exclusive deal with Sony in the way that they lost money this year, if Square Enix do shit like that, they deserve to get their ass kicked. But I think the new guy that they got on board, he ain't doing that crap no more. So There we go again. Everybody talking about, will Sony looking to get some more Square Enix deals? I think that shit's over with, man. I really do. And that's my final say so on that.
Excellent stuff there, Tuck and Hebot. Again, I do apologize. Super short
No,
show, guys, but
you're good. You're good.
it doesn't get going. Let me get your final thoughts and shout yourself.
Oh no, the final thought is also keep in mind that there's a clause where they're saying that in order for them to continue that deal with Marvel, they're going to have to sell at minimum 6 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way they can inflate those numbers is going to be, like we know, is bundling it up, because Spider-Man didn't even hit those numbers. They hit like 4 million or some shit. You know? So if they can even keep that going, because again, with all the financial issues, and they said it themselves that now they're concerned with Microsoft if they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, because it could make them lose subscribers. If they keep losing money, they're not going to be able to do shit. Yeah. So we got to keep that in mind too. It's not all easy pickings. This is just if they be able to achieve what they need to, based on the contract agreement.
Yep.
Basically, that's it. That's also what I wanted to point out. Yeah, you guys can find me on my channel, on Hebot, on YouTube, and on all social medias. That information is on my description on my channel. If you want to find me there. And I just uploaded a new video like an hour ago, figure review. So,
Yeah, excellent stuff there, Hebot. Yes, just know, thank you for joining everybody. Thank you for everybody who watched. Really interesting topic today. Hopefully, maybe later in the week we can come back and talk about it a bit more if there's more breaking news. But something like this that dropped, I thought was just wild. And to see Sony confirm, more confirmation, I should say, about them being afraid of Xbox and Activision and Blizzard and Bethesda, and mostly just Xbox, man. It's just been wonderful to see. But you guys, have a great rest of your week, and we are out.
Peace.
Y'all have a nice night. Hey, Hebot. Oh, hell. Let me call Hebot.